It's time to learn Torah right now. Follow me, I'll show you how. If every one of us tries, we will grow up great and wise. We left off last time with Yosef being taken to Egypt by a group of travelers. They sold him to Potiphar. Potiphar was a minister of King Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Yosef is blessed by Hashem. He is well liked by everyone, and everything he does is successful. He is soon put in charge of running Potiphar's house. One day, though, Potiphar's wife tells a lie. She did not like Yosef. She wanted to get him in trouble, so she said, "Oh, my husband, Yosef is very mean. He has said unkind things to me, and he tried to push me and hurt me." Potiphar was very upset. He told Yosef, "My wife told me that you were not nice to her. You have to go to jail." So Yosef was taken to prison. While he was in prison, he was blessed by God. Again, even in prison, people were impressed with Yosef. His attitude and way of talking to others was very kind. He becomes an important person in prison and becomes in charge of the other prisoners there. In prison, Yosef meets Pharaoh's chief butler and Pharaoh's chief baker. The chief baker and the chief butler had dreams that they could not understand, but Yosef is able to explain the dreams. He tells them that in 3 days the butler will be freed from prison and the baker will not. Yosef asks the butler to ask Pharaoh to free him once he is himself freed, and that's what happened. In 3 days, the chief butler was freed, but the baker is not. But the baker forgets to tell Pharaoh that Yosef wants to be freed. Now Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, has 2 dreams. He dreams first of 7 fat cows. He feels good about the 7 fat cows. Everything is good. But in his dream, the 7 fat cows are swallowed up by 7 skinny cows, and one in which 7 fat ears of grain are swallowed up by 7 skinny ears. He wants to understand what that dream means. He calls his interpreters and magicians, but no one can explain the meaning of the dream. Then the chief butler goes to Pharaoh and speaks up. He says, "Pharaoh, there is a man I met in prison, Yosef, who interprets dreams, and he interpreted my dream and the baker's dream. He was exactly right." So Pharaoh sends messengers to prison, and Yosef is brought before him. When Yosef hears the dreams about the 7 skinny cows and the 7 fat cows, he understands what they mean. He tells King Pharaoh, "There will be 7 years of plenty in the land. There will be a lot of food for everybody to eat. This will be followed by 7 years of hunger, when no food will grow." Then Yosef advises Pharaoh to hire somebody to be in charge of storing the food for the first 7 years, so that there will be enough food for the years of hunger. Pharaoh is so impressed by Yosef's interpretation and his advice that he appoints him to be the prime minister of Egypt, in charge of all the food in the whole country. Yosef's interpretation comes true, and in the next 7 years, Egypt has plenty of extra food, which Yosef puts away in special storage places he has set up. But when the years of hunger begin in all the surrounding lands, people are hungry, but in Egypt there is food for everyone.